are live. Hello, everyone. My name is Alessandro Ranucci from EZC, and welcome to our series of interviews. So this is a new space to get in touch with our favorite sailing influencers and to chat with them about various topics like sustainability or life at sea. So today we are live with Beau and Brandy from the YouTube channel Beau and Brandy Sailing. These guys are amazing. They sold everything they had in 2016 and bought a used boat. And with a little bit of ingenuity, a lot of hard work, they had to refit it in 2 years and started sailing, setting off from Florida and making their way south, twitching and fixing their boat along the way, learning how to maintain it and understanding what they are looking for on board. So without further ado, we can introduce them. And let's see if we have some technical difficulties on that. Let's see. Hello, guys.
Hey!
Hey! Hi! So welcome, guys.
Thanks for having us.
So first of all, I understand that you guys are in St. Thomas and you're still there. How does it work with you for YouTube? I mean, how long does it pass between what you post and what you live?
It varies.
Right now, it's pretty much what we just did. You just watched.
Yeah, because I'm still here working and we're just sitting. It's just been a lot of boat projects, things that we've kind of neglected while we've been sailing. So it has been nice in that sense, especially taking care of that compression post. Yeah.
So a lot of boat work. A lot of boat
Yeah,
work.
I can imagine. So it's worth to stay put for a while. But then what's your plan? Where do you plan to move?
Ooh. Next up, we are going to do hurricane season in Guatemala.
Okay.
Yeah, Rio Dulce,
Rio Dulce
specifically.
Yeah.
Might be the safest place there, no?
Yeah, up in the Rio. Yeah. We may stop in some of the smaller islands here off of Puerto Rico and then possibly Jamaica and then depending on time.
Yeah.
So,
Depends on time and weather.
Yeah.
Later in the season, the hurricanes start to really get going. So we want to be nice and tucked up before that starts to happen. And
yeah, absolutely.
it seems like it's already kind of happening. I mean, one just blew through.
Yeah,
so
not through here though. Like
okay.
Well, in the Gulf. I don't know if you followed that.
But I guess you can make every plan you want in your life, but weather is king, and he decides what you actually do.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, but guys, your story is very interesting. I mean, you decided to buy this sailboat that you want to refit it, and then you learn how to sail and just went out. I mean, how did you decide it? How did it work?
We just
don't know.
Yeah. we don't know which one of us decided, or convinced the other one.
There was no convincing, I don't think. It was kind of one day I remember just putting a thermometer bulb on our refrigerator and this is how much we want to save and we're buying a boat. Do we know how to sail a boat? No.
So kind of the idea started when we were living in New York, upstate New York. I was in corporate. We were both in corporate world, and we just never saw each other. We got sick of the 9 to 5.
9 to whenever, like weeks on end.
Brandy was literally gone for like not weeks, but multiple days on end.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't the life that we wanted to live.
Taking the typical 1 week vacation out of the entire year and
and one day you decided you're sick of this.
Yeah.
Yep. Pretty much.
Yeah.
And in between that time we somehow got on to sailing channels on YouTube. It seemed to be like the thing that's just starting. Like Delos was pretty popular, I would say. They were pretty popular already. But a few others like White Spot Pirates, Vagabond was brand new to the scene. Was brand new to the scene. So we kind of hooked on to those guys.
Yeah, those were kind of the big ones.
Yeah. So those are the guys that made you drool around looking at the scenery and the sailing there.
Well, I think it
But,
also, like, even with Dan and Kika and building the boat and just watching a couple of like MJ Sailing, just building boats, knowing, okay, we can do it that route too. We don't have to have this ridiculous amount of money, saved up in order to do it. So remember the thermometer? I don't even think we didn't get to the top of the thermometer level of what we wanted to save.
And it wasn't. The thermometer was small to begin with. Like,
it's like $8,000.
Our budget.
You had no patience for it anymore. Okay, let's go.
Yeah. Everybody likes cost, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So we were like, oh, 8,000.
Until we had 8,000, right? We were like, that should be plenty.
No idea. But we wanted a derelict boat because we wanted to fix it up.
Yeah. We wanted to be able to have that experience because we knew that when you're out here, I don't know where we came along on this idea, but we knew once we came out here, we knew we were going to be in charge of our own boat. Like, we knew that if we didn't know how to fix her, or if we didn't know what was wrong with her, it would be up to us.
Yeah. So the idea was, okay, I'll take the time up front and dig into every little, well, not every system, but most of the systems. That way I'm familiar with it and I can troubleshoot, fix wherever. And not knowing the lifestyle, I didn't know the availability of everything.
Yeah, of course.
So,
but you had a mechanical engineering degree before, if I understand.
Yeah.
So you had already an idea of where to put your hands, right?
Yeah, to a degree. I mean, it's like everything else, right? I learned best doing. School is school. They tell you the basics, but it's really up to you to dive into something and try to and learn and keep learning.
Yeah.
Like, there is so much to learn out here. I learn on the daily new things. So
this is a beautiful philosophy, though. Also the idea that there's always the idea that you should first study and learn everything you know and then try. But there's also this other possibility, like, okay, let's start doing, let's see what happens, and let's learn along the way. That's fantastic, actually.
Yeah.
And after the 2 years of fixing her, we kind of said, well, we hope we like sailing.
It was fresh, so we thought we could keep the water out enough to go sailing.
Otherwise, a lot of towels around and see what happens.
Yeah.
But so how did you actually learn how to restore it? I mean, this YouTube channel are fantastic. Also, Dan and Kika with Sailing Yuma are amazing at showing you that everything is possible and you can learn along the way. But I don't know, have you found every tutorial you were looking for on YouTube?
Yeah, it was a combination of things. It was YouTube, it was podcasts. Actually, I bought this old boat. What's his name? Don Casey. Yeah, Don Casey is the author, and that was a really good resource to just have something to be able to quickly flip to, and it's pretty much got everything in there. Just to get reassurance on what I've seen on YouTube. So YouTube you can spend a lot of time on YouTube and have 5 different ways of doing something. So this is something from an old salt that was kind of reaffirmed what I was doing.
And I think by having Beau calls it derelict. I mean, I guess she was derelict. We rescued her. But I think that by having her as our starter boat, we didn't feel bad about doing things wrong. We could just rip it up and do it again, So it wasn't something that we felt like we had to do perfectly the first time. And so we've just learned a lot over time.
Still respecting the boat, though.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, for sure. As in, you laid that piece of fiberglass wrong and it doesn't kick well or whatever, we can rip it up and do another round. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but so that's a fantastic way to learn how to do things. But also the YouTube world, I guess it was new for you.
Yes.
So that's a lot of work. I mean, you have to learn 360 degrees everywhere.
Yeah.
and you can tell from the beginning videos, it wasn't me just learning how to fix the boat. It was me trying to capture that as well. And we were photographers in a previous life. So we knew lighting and, you know.
We knew things still aspect, you know, from that one, like we knew focus, we knew, you know, the basics of a camera. But video intimidated the
once
heck out of us.
Once you put those stills all together in repetition and make them move, then things get a little way more complicated. Just and you probably have run into this as well. It's just
but still they look so sincere. I mean, your face when on the first video we bought a boat is so happy and genuine. It's marvelous.
I think
from there, I mean, there's a lot of learning curve. You can see your learning curve between that first video and like the last one you published yesterday. But still with the same feeling, with the same philosophy behind it. It's beautiful.
Oh,
thanks. Yeah, we try to, you know, it's more of a documentation of this journey. And that's what it was from the beginning. It was fun to film. We probably would have been out a lot sooner if we weren't.
I never even thought about that, actually.
Everything takes way longer trying to film it, especially now, because you got to think of different angles and how to keep the audience engaged and interested.
And music and timing
and what you're saying, because the narrative really keeps people watching. If you do it just a bunch of clips together, then it kind of gets boring, in my opinion.
Plus, I guess the more you learn about this, the more details you know how to add, and the more you have to study. So that means that it will take even more and more and more to fix everything exactly as you want it.
This past episode, I had 176 gigs of footage, and it was about 6 hours worth of footage to go through. And the video, I think, was 23 minutes. A lot of it goes on the cutting room floor, you know, and it's not even because it's, you know, planned out. I think it's probably because it's not planned out. We try to do things with an idea for filming, clearly, because we're fixing the boat. Like, all right, we're going to fix this part of the boat today. Now film, you know, but making it interesting because we want to be able to watch it. Like, I literally, this is so weird. My favorite video probably has to be of us sailing into Statia. I don't know what it is about that video, but it gives me goosebumps watching it. The music was perfect. It was when we left Antigua and sailed into Statia, and we have a really big connection with Statia, so it's even more of a heartfelt video for me now. But I think learning to fix the boat, learning our creative skill in the videos, no, it just makes it more interesting. Constantly learning.
It keeps us engaged, that's for sure. Boredom is not a thing on Sersha.
No,
but it's very important to always ask yourself, will they watch this? Like you are the first audience of your videos in the end. But how was it to interact with feedback? I mean, I guess all the interaction with feedback also changed during the years. Maybe,
Yes.
You gotta grow some rhino skin. A lot of people have a lot of opinions, and
these rhino skins a little thicker than Beau's, to be honest.
Oh yeah, for sure. I was doing all the comments and stuff in the beginning, and you know, it's just when there comes a point where you don't really want to put yourself through misery, right? So I was just like, I'm just not gonna respond.
No.
Yeah.
You know, it's
we just don't respond. We don't give the energy to the people who are negative. However,
well,
we don't
kind of.
But no, like there's a lot of people. It's funny too, having the years of responding to comments. First of all, we try to focus heavily on those guys who have been there since day one, who comment all the time. Like, I'm in the comments. I know who these people are. I mean, like when a new name pops up, I'm like, oh, that's new. But also, a lot of people, I think, just don't have tact on how they're asking questions
or giving advice.
So they just come across very
know-it-all.
Well, not even that. They just come across.
It's always easy to do it behind the screen, you know. I mean, I can imagine you guys. You spent, I don't know, 50 hours making a movie. In the meantime, you actually had to do your job, so you had to fix your boat, and you were engaged in this. And someone comes in 5 seconds. He knows the answer. He's the king of the. It's like it's difficult to handle sometimes.
We're in St. Thomas if you want to come help, or.
Well, and the other thing, though, on the other aspect of it, it's kind of humbling as well, because there are people with a lot of great ideas out there too, and you're like, oh, you know, that probably would have been a better way, or oh man, I wish I would have thought of that. So you know, it's not one-sided. You know, there are a lot of helpful comments out there.
But there's like, for the one person who leaves a negative comment, and it's just like the saying, your opinion of me has nothing to do with me, is right. I should write it like on the walls, because it doesn't, what they're saying doesn't have anything to do with me. So it's like all of the people who are, you know, saying awesome, amazing things, it just wipes those people out. You know what I mean? Like, I just, we've kind of had a.
But between the good and bad things, I think for you, the YouTuber must be hard discerning if the guy knows what he's talking about or not. Because it maybe can also be a negative comment, but like you guys said, I mean, maybe it was actually a good idea, or maybe it was not. But you don't know who you have behind the screen.
Yeah, I've had comments to where it sounds like it's coming across rude or something like that, and I'll respond in a very, you know, matter of fact response, and then they come back and like, oh, I'm sorry, I meant that. You know what I mean? Like, they weren't meaning it; they just didn't come across the. You know what I mean? Words are really hard to.
It's hard to
get that emotion out
behind every word, especially.
So.
But guys, so after you fixed everything, after you spent so much time, and again, I'm thinking it took 2 years to fix a boat, and you didn't even know if you liked sailing.
Yeah.
How did it go?
Yeah. What was that?
I mean, you started fixing your boat without even knowing if you actually liked sailing.
Yeah, and we didn't go and take like classes or anything either. After we had been in the boatyard for a year and a half, maybe, I think we got on one person's boat, and then we went with. I think we'd been on maybe 2 sailing boats. But we were just like, we weren't really ocean sailing. So we had no idea what it was going to be like to be in the ocean. Our first experience being in the ocean was when we left Florida and crossed to Bahamas.
No.
How was it to finally bring your boat outside?
Oh, it was, well.
Really? It's scary.
There's a video when we first raised the sails, and that was super emotional.
That was just in the bay outside of.
Yeah, that was in the ICW, which is the Intercoastal Waterway. That was, you know, it's super protected. It's a narrow channel, so it was actually difficult. I think we grounded. I don't know if we showed that.
We grounded on the way to show it. We did show it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, that was super emotional. And then to be out in the ocean was another really cool. Because remember, we had the dolphins.
Yeah, like, I was like, "This is everything I want it to be." Where's the rainbow?
Just, you know, when you put so much effort into something, and then it all comes together, it's just, it feels good. Yeah.
I mean, it must have been extremely emotional, in the good and the bad. I mean, it must also be like, I guess there were some moments in which you asked, why did I do this? Why actually I want to do that? And on the other side, like pure joy about a dolphin or the first mainsail.
Yeah.
We were watching a video last night, and it was about a guy who just kept getting knocked down, like in everything that he attempted, but he kept getting up and he kept going, and every roadblock he hit, he just went around it or over it or through it. So that's kind of, I feel like that's how we've approached the sailing. Like we don't let things get us down, you know. Or if it does for a little bit, we eventually get through it, you know. So
it is sort of a life lesson in the end.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, it's beautiful. Also, I imagine the hardest part must have been to learn not how to sail the boat, but how to be sailors in the end. No, because one thing is to learn how to tack. One thing is how to trim a sheet. It's important, but then you have to think about everything else on the side, like weather prediction or maintenance or whatever.
Yep.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many mistakes did you make? Be honest. How many times you found yourself in a store like, I should have studied better?
Ooh, you know, that's the thing. It's just like I feel like we could have probably like taken classes or whatever, and maybe there are some things I think maybe we would know better. Especially me. I mean, Beau has a degree to where he kind of understands, you know, wind and aerodynamics and things like that. I'm like, I don't even know what these things are called. You know what I mean? He was listening to podcasts, I was working. So there was a lot of things in the beginning that I didn't get exposed to. So Beau was my teacher, and he's a very patient one at that. You're very, he is. So I'm like, I'm grateful that he knew what he was doing. In theory. But the mistakes that we have made, holy moly. Like, but you can't let that let that stop you though.
And the other thing that classes would have been nice, because I wouldn't be the mentor.
Right.
The guy with no experience is now trying to teach somebody with even less experience.
It was stressful in the beginning. It definitely was stressful for sure. Yeah.
And if we had some other reference of, oh no, our instructor told us XYZ, it would have taken some of the stress off of our relationship.
Yeah.
So from a relationship standpoint, classes definitely would have been beneficial.
Yeah.
How's your, I don't know if I can ask, guys, but how's your relationship now, speaking of this? Because I imagine being 24/7 on a boat.
It's perfect.
What are you talking about? I mean, it's great.
We've been married for like 14 years.
We just celebrated our 14th year anniversary.
Yeah? How did you celebrate?
We just hung out on the boat and we people watched people on the beach.
We had a dinner planned and we canceled it, but we think we're going to try to do something a little more special when we leave here and celebrate it. Yeah.
Well, I saw you guys celebrating an anniversary, just jumping from a plane, so I can expect everything from you guys.
Yeah, we like to go experience something new. At least that's what we've been trying to do. The past couple of years have been a little.
It's been a little bit more,
because now we set the bar so high because we're out here sailing that, like, what
else do we do?
Yeah, I guess that will make it. How you guys handle these things. I mean, that makes it very easier to live on a boat. Also removes a little bit of the stress of the problems that you might face. I can imagine. I mean, the fact that you are very brave people. I mean, you jumped from a plane, you jumped on a boat,
jumped off the cliff.
I cannot imagine too many things scaring you.
Yeah, no, I mean,
really. But you know,
living on land.
No, that's not true. But back to the relationship thing, like, we do fight. We do get in, like, there have been times where we don't talk to each other for like a whole day, you know, because we
like you know, we don't have a space to where we don't have an extra cabin that we can go hang out in. But I feel as though that because we are on the boat and it is so small and there's not a lot of place to, you know, escape to, we have to figure it out. We have to talk. We can't, you know, there's
no choice.
Also lesson in the end.
That's what we're
at. You cannot turn them off and say, the hell with it, I will go go for a walk. It's not a lot of space.
Right. Yeah. It really isn't. And like at sea, however, it's different.
Yeah.
Like if you want to be upset or whatever, it needs to get put on the back burner. We'll deal with it later. Right now, our lives depend on us getting along well. So
you have to work together.
First we arrive on port, then we can talk.
Then we can maybe have a little disagreement. Yeah, no. I just throw Beau into the pool and let Beau in the back. That's and then I go sailing.
So maybe that might also be good to postpone the arrival on port and wait a couple of hours a bit more.
Yeah.
Let's not trim this sheet. Let's keep it fluffy.
Yeah. Let's heave to right now.
Hey guys, going back to the navigation, I saw you guys sailing with some dogs as well during your time. How was it? I mean, how was it to have a dog on board? I can imagine must have been complicated for so many aspects.
Yeah, definitely. It adds another body, another person you need to take care of and worry about. And one that can't talk to you and doesn't use the same facilities as you. So
I like that one.
This might complicate things a bit more.
Yeah, a little bit. But we had dogs before this lifestyle, and we were not going to do this without them, or we were gonna wait and then do it.
Actually, when we started the boat life, we had 2 dogs, and right before we sailed, right before we got splashed, we lost one, and then we had Una, it was really nice to be on the hard before we went sailing because she got used to the space, she got used to being able to walk around, so that was good. And she was just a chill dog, so it was really easy to sail with her. But like Beau was saying, it was just one of those things that we had to be cognizant of. And it wasn't difficult. It was difficult, but we didn't know any different. So it was.
It was kind of a good thing, too, because she forced us to go to land 3 times a day.
Yeah.
Sometimes 2.
Yeah.
But we went to land. Now, when we don't have dogs, because I'm working,
where land exists.
Yeah. Brandy hasn't seen land in like a couple weeks. When's the last time you've been to land?
Seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oops.
I mean, I've seen land. It's right there. I just haven't gotten on it.
I keep her chained to the boat so she can't go anywhere.
Yeah. It's,
so she was obliged to say that your relationship was going perfectly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it changed the dynamic. I mean, I love dogs. I am a dog mom. I always have had dogs. It's really hard for me not to have a dog right now. We rescued Benji from Curacao, and he was amazing it's just, I think dogs will gravitate to how you are, I guess, how you're assessing the situation. Maybe, I don't know. Benji was just, I was like, is he gonna like freak out? He was amazing on sails. He just didn't like being on the boat by himself. So we always knew that when we got Benji, we were going to put him up for adoption. We were only fostering him because we plan on doing the South Pacific, and he was 3 or 4, and it's a really difficult area.
It's complicated also to move to cross the Pacific with a dog.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm sure a lot of animals I found that it doesn't matter if wherever you are, they're happy. You know what I mean? But I just didn't, the bureaucracy in the South Pacific for animals on board, it's just too much. And I just feel like I just didn't.
He's got a new home and he's living the life.
King.
Right now. So, I'm happy that we were able to provide that for him.
Yeah.
So
I just think if you have a dog and you want to go sailing, do it. Yeah. I mean, what we did say though is if we got out here and Una did not like it, we were not going to do it. We were just going to have to stop.
Yeah,
I mean, it was just
put it on pause.
And some people may think we're crazy for that. However, you're probably not a dog person if you are. You know what I mean? So I think this lifestyle is for pretty much anyone who wants it to be, and don't let having 5 kids or 3 dogs or a cat or a bird or even a fish stop you.
We've seen it all. Like we've seen families with just
4 kids and 2 dogs. on a monohull.
On a boat.
Yeah.
And you know, that
As
was
long as you can, this again shows, I mean, your approach to things. I mean, don't let anything block you. Just keep sailing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's
Maybe having something like Flipper then that might help you, I guess. Did you have a way to? Did you ever try some time to try it?
oh yeah,
What is it?
talking about Flipper.
Oh yeah.
So we did move a very small portion while we've been here in Thomas. We moved from one bay to the next, and we did have these guys in, and we were just testing them out, you know, and we really are looking forward to the rest of our sailing with these, because constantly, I mean, we tack a lot. We've done a lot of tacking, just beating into the wind, and with that, you're constantly you're changing from side to the next, and we have traditional winch handles, so it's always like,
where's the winch handle?
Where's the winch? You know, it's like sometimes you're like, I need to tack now, and you're not really prepared, so you're like, crap, where's the winch handle?
Yeah.
And
like, is it over there? Is it over there? For some reason, we have like a couple of them, but we never can find any of them.
Well, now we have a couple of them. In the beginning of our career, we only had one, which was, I mean, we had some backups stowed away, but they weren't really accessible. So
and they go flying off the boat.
Yeah, this is gonna be a game changer. So we are excited to really put them to use.
We've seen them on another boat, and I was in love. So I'm super happy that we have them.
Yeah.
now.
So we really appreciate you guys
working with you guys for sure.
It's ingenious idea. I mean, it's such a simple solution for a very annoying problem.
You would almost think, why don't winches just come with a handle involved? And they stow, so they don't get in the way. And they lock, so I don't have to remove them. And they lock, so Beau can't lose them off the side of the boat. I can't tell you how many that we've lost. And they've gotten stuck in our lifelines, and it's kind of dangerous.
Yeah, actually, we need to get more.
Yeah, the idea is actually this one. Is to simplify life on board.
So actually, I might be putting you on the spot, but how do they work with mast winches?
Can you do mast winches yet?
On the vertical.
On the vertical, you mean on the mast?
Yeah. So we have two little drums up there, and just for raising our halyards and such. Have you guys tested any of that out?
Oh, now you're putting me on the spot for real.
No,
but the idea, the main work has been done on the back on the winch, mostly. But I know that they're not very optimized for being on the mast.
Okay.
But this actually is a very good feedback and the margin for improvement for sure. And this is a new idea, and it keeps getting developed, and to optimize every situation on board, because of course the different kind of boats have different type of winches on the mast.
True.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, at least a lot that we've seen, they run everything back to the cockpit anyways. I was just curious, but we'll test it out on our mast winches. So why not?
I'm confident you guys will do a very thorough test on those. Not too hard, please. But
we're gonna try to break it.
Beau tries to break everything, guys.
That's what we're expecting from you, so it's okay. We want these things to be unbreakable and perfect. So if we see something that can be improved, then we have to improve it.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the things. It's like, just when you think you're there, then if you can just keep notching it up a little bit, makes everybody else's life that much better.
Yeah, the idea behind the winch handle was at the beginning for the jib or the jinacker or for the halyards maybe. But the idea of having halyards on and winches on the mast actually, it's a bit different. So we were not very optimized on that. But thank you for guys for your feedback.
Yeah, it was just something that popped in my head, you know.
No, please do. I mean, that's what we're looking for. Hey, I don't know if we have a lot of time, so maybe we can put in this conversation Francesco, who is actually the creator and the designer of the winch handle. Let's see if he's available. Let's see. Hey, guy.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hi. I listen your stories. Very amazing. You are living my dream.
Oh.
I'm very passionate about sailing, but I stay all the day on PC, designing new accessories, new things. But I love sailing. You are living my dream.
Oh.
Well, we appreciate you
making it easier for us.
Exactly.
So I guess that's it for today. I don't know if Francesco wants to add something else.
No, good luck, good wins. Try the best. Use my handle, and if you find something that I can improve, please tell me, because I make this project during 2 years, so improving it step by step. So any feedback is always accepted.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's great to work with folks that we know they're constantly trying to improve, and that you're looking for feedback. It makes it even better for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I
and we're
think
looking forward
having
to
someone that says, "Shut up, you are wrong." It's sometimes it doesn't work very much.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and we hear that you guys are coming out with some other ideas and stuff in the future, so we're looking forward to seeing what you guys come out with.
Yes, we will contact you. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll wait for you to test everything we have. Don't worry.
I love it.
So, guys, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
And thank you for good luck with your sailing and with your maintenance. I hope you're going to go to Guatemala in no time.
Thank you very much. And we
Bye,
look
everyone.
forward to